We recently came back from our very first Disney cruise, and I have to be honest with you, before going on this cruise, as much as we were excited, we also had some preconceived notions and some things that were perhaps some concerns. Now, this included, are we too old for Disney? After all, our kids are now young adults. Is the food and dining as good as we heard? And what would the overall experience be like? And is Disney Cruise Line for us? Hi there, I'm Ilana from the website lifewellcruise.com. Welcome back to my channel. Now, I've been on over 50 cruises, but I have never been on a Disney cruise, and I've heard a lot of good things. I heard great things about the food, the entertainment, the service, the kids club, and even some avid fans shared how Disney Cruise Line is great for adults. But I've got to be honest, I was maybe just a little bit skeptical, but I was pretty excited to see for myself. Now, in this video, I'll share our experience sailing on board Disney's newest cruise ship, Disney Destiny, as well as some tips and tricks to help you out along the way. And because no cruise ship is perfect for everyone, towards the end of this video, I'll also share who I think this cruise ship is for and not. Now, before I get started, I did want to mention that if you like this video, if you find it helpful, informative, or enjoyable in any way, then please do give this video a big thumbs up. I really do appreciate it, and please subscribe if you haven't done so already. Let's get started. Now, by the way, Disney Cruise Line hosted us on this inaugural sailing. However, as always, all opinions are my own. All right, first a little bit of an overview about Disney Destiny. Disney Destiny is the newest ship in the Disney Cruise Line fleet, and it brings a fresh heroes and villains theme to the seas with spaces inspired by Disney, Pixar, and Marvel stories, coming in at roughly 144,000 gross tons and accommodating about 4,000 guests. It's a large and modern cruise ship with more than 1,200 staterooms and a wide variety of dining venues, lounges, and entertainment spaces. First impressions of Disney Destiny and Embarkation Day. The Disney cruise experience truly begins the moment that you arrive at the port. From there, you enter through a Mickey-shaped doorway, which is a cute, nostalgic touch that instantly makes you feel like you're stepping into a Disney story rather than just another cruise terminal. As you walk up the gangway and onto the ship, Disney crew members announce your arrival by name and clap as you get on board. This was really the first time we've ever experienced anything like this, and I could just imagine if you're a family with really young children, how special this must be. The atrium and ship design. Now, something that surprised me right away is how beautiful and stylized the atrium was, with beautiful Disney touches, but they were really all much more elevated than I expected. I guess because I was on a family cruise line, I expected maybe the colors to be really bright, and instead, it was just very tasteful. And one of the fun things, though, was that you often had character meet and greets here. And even on our very first day on board, we did have Spider-Man waving at everybody from the balcony. Now, as for the cruise ship itself, the flow is great with several entertainment venues, themed bars, dining areas, and more. The attention to detail is everywhere, from the heroes and villains themed carpets and the elevator banks to the artwork on walls and floor designs. Now, if you've cruised before, this definitely still feels like a cruise ship, but the theming is so well done that you can easily get lost in the world of Disney at times. The overall vibe. Now, Disney Destiny is definitely a very family-friendly cruise ship, and the overall vibe is really very happy. Now, you are going to see people that are dressed with Minnie ears or wearing Disney shirts or even wearing costumes. And the crew, I will talk about the service a little bit later, but the crew definitely seem like they might be some of the happiest crew at sea. Our stateroom and cabin experience. Now, we stayed in a deluxe family veranda stateroom on deck 10. And not only was this a very spacious cabin, but it had one thing that I've never had before in any cabin on a cruise ship, and this proved to be very convenient. And I do think if you're cruising with children or with family, very, very good. Now, just to let you know, we were sailing with my son, Ethan, who works with us, and he is 25. So Frank and I stayed in the queen size bed, so comfortable. By the way, everybody told me that Disney beds were very comfortable. They were right. The sheets, the pillows were also very comfortable, but he actually stayed in the Murphy bed, which he also found very comfortable. However, there is also a Pullman bed that comes out of the ceiling, and the sofa bed as well. So if you are a family of 5, that works quite well. Now this cabin had a ton of storage space from the closet at the entry to the extra shelving that was right next to that Murphy bed. But something that I absolutely loved about this cabin, beside the curtain for privacy, was the double bathroom. So you actually have 2 bathrooms. One has a toilet and a sink, and the other one has a bathtub shower combination and sinks. Now the Disney touches throughout our stateroom were really special, from the absolutely beautiful Disney artwork mural behind our bed, to the Disney Destiny blanket at the foot of our bed, to the subtle silhouette of the Mickey ears on our bedding and our towels, to the soap and more. Now, by the way, we also visited some of the different cabins on Disney Destiny, and this is one of the things that I really like about cruising. There really is a cabin for like every budget. The interior cabin, it is more affordable and cozy, but really very nicely appointed. The ocean view cabin that I thought was actually surprisingly nice, very, very bright. And of course you have the veranda, and we did visit a 2-story suite that was absolutely gorgeous with 2 bedrooms and a veranda with a hot tub. Now, while it's definitely out of my budget, a girl can dream. Now, I do have a little safety tip if you are in a veranda or balcony cabin. Not only do you have a regular lock on your balcony door, but you do have a child-safe lock right at the very top. So if you are sailing with young children, this is very useful. Now, something that I really loved about our stateroom experience was the turn down service, or twice a day daily housekeeping. When we would get back to our cabin in the evening time, we would find a towel animal or towel blanket, as well as chocolates on our bed. Dining on board Disney Destiny. Now, before we talk about dining at the restaurant and how the food tasted, we have to talk about rotational dining. This is something that was really new to me, and I think really does help make the experience absolutely amazing. Now, you are assigned to a table when you're on a Disney cruise, and your waitstaff, even when you change restaurants, actually go with you. This means that you get that personalized service and consistency by having the same waiter and assistant waiter even when you're in a different venue. Now, in Disney Destiny, your main restaurants consist of Pride Lands, which is a dinner show with a Lion King theme. 1923, a main dining room with a beautiful, elegant, nostalgic vibe. And World of Marvel, which might be one of the coolest main dining rooms that I've ever seen. And you're assigned a rotation that takes you through each one of them. Now, we had the 8:15 dining time, or late dining, and our first dinner was in Pride Lands. Now, Pride Lands was definitely really a very cool atmosphere. There was a dinner show, the singing was great. Now, when it came to the menu, there was actually a pretty nice menu, and for a main dish, we chose the prime rib, which was quite good. The only thing that I would say, and I think that this might be because they are serving hundreds of people, the temperature of the food wasn't quite hot. Now, we were on a preview early sailing, so it could have just been that they were just getting used to it, and it might be much better when you go on. 1923. Now, I absolutely loved eating dinner in 1923. The atmosphere was really elegant. The service was great, by the way. And in terms of the menu, it was a very nice menu. Now, we ended up having filet mignon, and the filet mignon in the main dining room, which is included, honestly, it rivaled some of the specialty restaurants on other cruise ships. And by the way, we also ate breakfast in 1923 one morning, and I highly recommend this. World of Marvel. Now, we didn't have a chance to dine at World of Marvel, but we did tour the venue, and it looked really cool. Fans of Marvel will love the interactive elements and theme design, and from what we saw, it was one of the most immersive dining spaces on the ship. Palo. We were lucky enough to go to Palo Steakhouse, a specialty restaurant, on the last evening of our Disney cruise. This was easily probably the best specialty restaurant that we've ever eaten at on a cruise ship. I highly recommend it. Now, the appetizers were absolutely delicious. The main dishes, Frank and Ethan both had Wagyu steak while I had lamb chops. The dessert, absolutely decadent and a beautiful atmosphere. Casual dining. Now, you have the Marceline market, or the buffet, and the Festival of Foods, which is awesome because that is right on the pool or the Lido deck. Now, the Festival of Foods is perfect for quick bites. It has several small stations offering pizza, tacos, burgers, barbecue, and other casual items. And you'll even find fruit and soft ice cream there. Now, the Marceline Market Buffet is quite good with a lot of fresh and tasty options. Now, we ate breakfast there one day, and you'll find Eggs Benedict, an omelet station, pastries, and more. And one of the most fun options, which I guess is really supposed to be for kids, but Disney is famous for them, are the Mickey waffles, and they are quite good. Now, when it came to all of the casual food, I found the food to be quite tasty and the quality to be quite good. However, it was also very child friendly. So something that we noticed is if you prefer a little bit of spicier food or maybe something a little bit more seasoned, just to keep that in mind. Room service. Now, this is another great casual option that is available, and it is included on Disney. Now, we ordered breakfast in the morning time. We would order some pastries and some fruit and some coffee just for something light. And I have to tell you, people had told me how good the cookies are on Disney, but while they are good, nobody warned me about the donuts. This is something definitely I highly recommend you try. The entertainment. So first, let's talk about the theater shows. I've never seen anything like this on the cruise ship. Now, these are all Disney themed, but they are phenomenal. Now, unfortunately, due to copyright, I was not able to film any of this, but I was able to go behind the scenes a little bit. So I'll share some of that with you. Now, we saw Hercules. What a great show. And when I didn't think it could get any better than that, we saw Frozen. Now, I'm usually not huge on cruise ship shows, but these are definitely worth attending. Character experiences. Now, a huge part of the Disney experience is the character interactions, especially if you have children. It's really fun because you could be walking around the cruise ship and suddenly you will run into your favorite Disney character. Now, if you look on the daily planner, you'll even find character meet and greets. And obviously this is fun for kids, but it's great fun for adults as well. And truthfully, Ethan said to us, why didn't we take a Disney cruise 17 years ago? Pirate night and deck party. Now, this ended up being one of the most fun times during our cruise. Now, just to let you know, for pirate night, we got some bandanas, pirate themed bandanas in our cabin, which was great because I didn't bring anything to dress up in. Some people really do go all out and dress up. It was so much fun, but to top it all off, there were actually fireworks on the side of the ship. Just amazing. Adult only spaces. Now let's talk about something that a lot of people asked about. Can I be an adult and go on a Disney cruise? What is it like? Am I going to have children around all of the time? And you actually have some bars and some clubs and some shows that are meant for adults. Now, starting with bars, there is a very cool haunted mansion parlor that felt like stepping right into the movie with detailed theming and a spooky fun atmosphere that honestly made it one of the most memorable venues on board. And you have to try some of the spooky drinks. Now, DeVille's might have been my favorite. The drinks are really just phenomenal in terms of the presentation, but something that was a surprise, at least to me, was the performance by Cruella de Vil. And if you think that this is only for kids, no, the adults were absolutely loving it. Now, there are some adult shows as well. In Saga, we saw the Marvel comedy show. This was so entertaining. We were laughing and just having an absolutely great time. And when it comes to bars, there is the Cask and Cannon Pirate Bar, the Sanctum Bar, where there was usually a pretty good band playing, and the Rose, which we almost missed. We only found it on the very last day of the cruise. If you want an adult-only venue that feels much more upscale, that almost doesn't feel like you're on a Disney cruise ship at all, you absolutely have to check this bar out. It is just outside of Palo Steakhouse, and it is absolutely beautiful. The pool deck and outdoor spaces. Now, Disney Destiny has a fantastic main pool deck with several pools and a giant screen that plays Disney classics throughout the day. It creates a fun, upbeat atmosphere that families will love. There's also a small splash park for younger children, along with a child-friendly water slide. The Aqua Mouse slide. Now, this is definitely one of the coolest features on board Disney Destiny. Now, I didn't try it. However, Frank and Ethan did, and they said it did not disappoint. Quiet Cove. Now, if you are craving some adult-only outdoor space, an adult-only pool, adult-only hot tub, adult-only bar, and an adult-only cafe, then you will love Quiet Cove. Now, it's absolutely beautiful with its own infinity pool at the aft of the ship, so you actually see the wake. Just beautiful. And you have these gorgeous plush lounge chairs. And one of the nicest things, I think, and I haven't really heard anybody talk about this, but is the fact that it really is quiet. Because one thing that you'll notice on a Disney cruise is there's a lot of Disney sounds, Disney music, even as you're walking through the halls. And all of that is a lot of fun. But if you are sometimes craving a little bit of downtime from all of that, this is a space to be. The Kids Club and Hero Zone Recreation Center. Now, no matter the age of your children, there is something for them to do, and it is pretty amazing. But let's talk about the Kids Club. Now, we had a chance to tour Disney's Oceaneers Club, and it was absolutely amazing. Now, starting from the fact that kids can actually go to the Kids Club via a slide, or they can take the stairs, of course, but really just amazing. And all of the different spaces are themed. There's Mickey and Minnie's Captain's Deck. There's the Walt Disney Imagineering Lab, the Fairy Tale Hall, the Star Wars Cargo Bay. I just can't imagine anything cooler. And the Marvel Superhero Academy. And for the youngest children, there's the It's a Small World nursery from ages 6 months to 3 years. Now, I used to be an early childhood educator in another life, so I was just so impressed. Now, there's also Edge for tweens aged 11 to 14, and Vibe, where the 14 to 17-year-olds can hang out. The service and Disney hospitality. Now, I had heard before going on our Disney cruise that the service was really good on Disney, and it definitely was. But I would say it went even a little bit beyond in terms that it was really a real hospitality, especially in some areas. Now, our cabin attendant was wonderful. Our servers were great, but we also found even the people that worked in the shops were wonderful, friendly, helpful. But guest services in particular, it just seemed that they were really friendlier than we had ever experienced, and they even seemed to go a little bit above and beyond. All right, so here's the question. Who is Disney Destiny, and maybe even a Disney cruise? Who is it for and who is it not for? And would we sail with Disney again? So who is Disney for? Well, Disney is definitely for families, and I would say multi-generational families, because there is something about grandparents seeing the grandchildren so happy and being able to enjoy that. I definitely can foresee that, hopefully, in our future. But beyond that, I think anybody who enjoys Disney, whether you're a super fan or you enjoy Disney a little bit, there really is some magic to this. I also think anybody who likes theater productions, they really do bring it to a whole other level. So who is Disney not for? Now, I have to say, I had heard people say that you don't have to like Disney to go on a Disney cruise. And I would disagree to a certain point, because Disney is part of your cruise. It's part of the artwork. It's part of the sounds when you're in the elevator. And I do think it really is a lot of fun. But if you're somebody who does not like Disney even a little bit, then I probably think there might be a better choice for you. And one thing I think that it is important to mention is that while this is a very child-friendly cruise line and family-focused cruise line overall, it is still a premium product. So if you're somebody who values that kind of quality of service and experience, I do think that that is something to factor in. So would I sail with Disney Cruise Line again? Well, absolutely. We really did have a very good time. And although we were on board for only 3 days, and I think we made the most of it, we did quite a lot. There is a lot to see and do on this cruise ship, so I would definitely welcome more time on board. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Will you be sailing on board Disney Destiny, or will you be going on a Disney cruise? Please let me know down in the comments below. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do give it a big thumbs up. I really do appreciate it. And please subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Bye for now, and happy cruising.